Welcome back to a new video. I don't know how loud the mower is in the background, it's just a neighbor mowing, but I'll try to talk a little extra loud because it sounds loud to me, so I assume that the sound is coming in for the mower as well. It's across the street, which is kind of weird how loud it's. I think it's just the acoustics of the shed, but it wouldn't even faze me if I wasn't recording. But today we're gonna do the same session I did last Tuesday. I did it in the morning because I had open house that night and a tornado warning. But we're gonna do power snatch. I'm gonna add some overhead squats to them. So we're gonna do powers just 40, 60, and 80, and do overhead squats with them. And then I think I wrote power clean plus clean. I honestly probably will just do power clean. I'll probably just, because I wrote like power clean, clean, push press, jerk. I'll probably just do power clean push press, maybe 2 push presses, and some squats, some regular squats, not pause ones. See how, just back squats to see how they feel, and then some clean pulls. But should be a pretty straightforward session. It's always kind of nice to have powers, as they are mentally easier to do for some sort, in some ways. But yeah, just singles on the snatch, so we're not going to use straps, and then double into the overhead squats. I did working sets with pull-ups today, 4 sets of 3, and then some abs, but also did some deficit push-ups. So I did a good amount of work in those this morning. I think it was 3 sets of 8 for the push-ups. Got a nice little chest pump. That's where I sneeze and I get a good chest pump. My low back and chest are the easiest muscles for me to get a pump in. It's kind of always been like that too. But I'm gonna do another set with my shoes on to warm up a little bit more. Definitely feel quite sore from yesterday, but it kind of makes sense. I did some heavier volume in the front squat. So I don't know what I'll back squat today, but if today needs to be a little bit easier to account for that, then it will be. I didn't do overhead squats last week, so that's already more volume if I do the same weights. But definitely have some quad soreness there, but that makes sense because of the squats. We got some groceries coming later. I think I put them for 8 o'clock, so they shouldn't get here while I'm training. Do 40. Definitely not in peak shape today. honestly might just stop at 60 because everything's extra sore today. And this is one of the things I run into is if I'm trying to like repeat sessions or increase intensity, is I try to like do that for everything all the time. And I hate, you know, dropping down in a weight. But really, as I'm increasing the strength numbers, you know, doing more volume in the squats and stuff, the sessions on the alternative days or on the alternate days are just gonna feel a little worse. But continuing to not have equipment on is kind of a good kind of like barrier for me to want to push heavier. But we'll see how this 60 feels. Nothing hurts, I'm just sore, which I can deal with. Yeah, we do 80. We can do it. We're chilling. But I want to have that mindset more during the week. It's like I don't have to go up if like something hurts or something is, you know, extra sore. Especially if like the previous session went really well. I increased the, like for the front squats, I increased the weight that I did. So it's not as if, you know, I'm not improving. Just can't literally progress every single exercise every single day somehow for some reason. It's like I'm not on steroids. I'm not like 100% doing it, but I'm also thinking more towards this than the alternative with the overhead squats. And what I'm hinting at or getting to is that I'm trying on the overhead squat to kind of go quick. I'm not dive bombing it, but I'm not trying to be uber controlled, because I want that challenge of being more dynamic in the overhead squat. Similar to how I did snatch balances, where I'm trying to get low faster. Not as dramatic as that, but not trying to just do the overhead squat. Trying to go, you know, treat it like an actual squat, I guess, in a sense, where I'm trying to move it quickly. All right. Actually might be a little bit difficult without straps. Usually powers are a little bit easier with straps. Well, if we commit to it, we'll be all right. Very nice. It's one of my better power snatchers lately with 80. See, like I had this mindset, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna feel bad, I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, I was better than the other 80s I was doing as far as powers. So happy with that. Overhead squats were pretty routine. It was nothing radically easy, but you know, we did what I was hoping. Instead of doing multiple cleans, we're gonna do 70 and 110, but power clean and do push presses. Want to make sure we have a tactical reset so I don't run out of time. I get like 20 minutes to record with the default settings of my camera, but I don't necessarily push it ever beyond 10 minutes because I don't want the camera to have an error or something and then I miss half the session. Well, I'm really happy with that. I did have a cup of decaf, or not decaf, regular coffee before I came out, some instant coffee. So I'm not natural anymore, apparently, supposedly, allegedly, but just been for some reason it's getting tired in these afternoons. It's like I'm working full time now or something, but I just wanted to have that little extra boost. But don't really want to do that during the week, but at the same time, like, 1 cup is certainly less than what I would have done lately, and maybe that's just what I'll do every day. Just have a cup of decaf. I put 2 scoops of, or I guess 2 servings of the decaffeinated coffee in it, so I don't know how much caffeine that entails, but certainly less than like the multiple cups and filling it up to the 8 on the coffee maker and drinking all of that and then coming out the train. So a lot less than that. And I mean, obviously I feel good energy wise from that. Just generally sore. But really it's not too bad. I mean, I suppose that power, I don't know if people keep up on my 80 kilogram power snatches, but that one definitely felt better. And the fact that I did it without straps too is nice, because usually that makes them feel a little bit wonkier. But I had a good commitment. My back isn't really tight in that one spot, and I'm still hammering the pull-ups. So I didn't do any Saturday and Sunday to kind of let that area rest a bit, but did the max set yesterday, the working sets today, and so, you know, just figuring out. I'm pretty flexible with how I'm like programming them. I just want to have a couple times a week where I'm doing like a max rep set with them, and then a couple times a week where I'm doing volume and trying to theoretically obviously increase the max rep set. I did 9 yesterday, and then today I did 4 sets of 3, so that's more reps in total. Obviously in the top set, but for the working sets as well, because I did 5 sets of 2 before. And so getting 12 reps instead of 10, that's obviously good just from a volume standpoint. But doing multiple sets of 3, that part will be good as well. Theoretically, if I get to the point where, you know, I could do, I mean, this seems very far-fetched at this point, but doing like multiple sets of 10 with just my body weight, then I would consider adding some weight. But now it's like the stimulus is still so high just because of my just body, my sheer, just my body. I have enough dead weight to resist the pull-ups enough. And also realized too that the deficit push-ups, I mean, it's a good stretch in the chest, but that's probably one thing that was making the front rack feel a bit better too on Sunday when I was doing cleans with straps. So that was rather interesting too. I could use straps for these. I'm almost kind of interested in how they would feel with straps. And usually it makes it a bit harder for cleans, but we'll just hook grip with these, because we'll probably use straps, at least for snatches tomorrow. I don't know what I'll do with them. But since I don't have to train in the morning, I theoretically would do it on Friday, but like last Friday I wanted to do a little bit heavier stuff, so training in the evening felt good, and then Saturday went well. So it might not be a morning session unless there's only mornings I can envision right now are when we have parent conference night, because that's after school essentially till like 7:30 or 8 o'clock. So obviously I wouldn't want to train after that. So those days, you know, get the session done in the morning and just have it be very similar to this one, but obviously probably not feeling as good. It's usually the case in the mornings. It does feel really nice to be done with training in the morning and to have it be something that was productive. But man, is it mentally hard to come out when your body's not awake to lift. But we're going to go ahead and do the push presses. I don't know if the bugs are eating my legs or if it's something with the sweat, but my legs have just been so itchy lately. And usually I wear pants out here. Today's unique, but the place has just been so itchy. And I always wear pants. This is like the most I like training with these like 3/4 pants is the most frequent time that I'll wear shorts. Other than that, it's like I probably wore shorts probably twice this year. I only own like one pair. I just never care about wearing it. I don't know. So no my idiosyncrasies. I don't have anything against shorts. I think they're fine and comfortable, but I just don't ever wear them. All right. Cracks me up when my shoes squeak like a basketball shoe. But I got my OG tiers on, so these ones I painted black. That's why they look kind of weird, because they were the orange and green. Looked just so ugly. I think the laces were orange or something. I don't know. I put new laces on them, but they were cheap. And the thing with shoes is I'll wear whatever color and stuff. The white ones I definitely bought. I mean, I think they were the same price as the other colors. The other ones definitely look the best. The red ones look way too pink. And I don't know, red shoes seem like they seem too red. It'd be cool if they had like a black with red trim ones, but their red's kind of too pink. And the black ones, they didn't really look unique enough. They look nice, but these also, with the white ones, they keep creaking. I don't know really how to describe that, but I feel like some of the adhesive is coming apart like it did on the original pair. And there's too many like components to where it's like I don't want to try to mess with it and try to fix them or think about them when I'm lifting. These are just as comfortable as those, and they're just like, you know, one-piece shoes. They're not like glued together with wood at the bottom and stuff. So I would definitely recommend just the regular tier shoes. These are tier 1s. I think they're called tier 1s. It's like the first version. Whatever they have out now, just find whatever, like they look literally the same, and I'm sure they are the same. Any proposed changes that they had are probably null and void, but yeah, if you can't find Romaleos and you have, or if you have wider feet, these are definitely the shoes to go with. I like these more than my Roms. The Roms just look so nice, but they just smush my giant Sasquatch feet, unfortunately. Unfortunate for me, but they fit and they work. And if I ever, see, that's what, like, I'll spend money on stuff, and then it's like, well, these work, like, why would I get another pair just to have a different color? And they're still pretty expensive. Like, I'd pay maybe like $120 maybe for a new pair if it was a nice color, but most of the time they don't have the nice colors in stock. And maybe I always look on eBay, see if there's something that's super cheap. That's how I got the Romaleos, but I'm not in any rush, because these haven't deteriorated at all, and I've worn them a lot for a couple of years, and they just have the stupid spray paint on them, which that's just a me kind of problem. But they're my custom tiers. Maybe Tier will watch this and send me a pair of black tiers. Any normal color other than that ugly camo green. Alright. See how this one feels. We'll definitely do one push press, assuming I don't mess up the power clean, but we'll see if I can do two. I should be able to, but you never know if the first one's going to feel difficult. That's pretty solid. And I can say I'm developing more confidence when I'm catching it in that front rack that it's not going to irritate my wrist. So I think not using the wrist straps and like forcing my wrist to kind of be stable is actually strengthening them. Like, I'm not noticing them wobble in the snatch. I think that's one reason why they're feeling better. So the theory is seemingly getting more evidence with the fact that, at least for me, if I'm depending on the equipment to kind of dodge pain, then your body kind of compensates for it, and avoiding it helps your body kind of strengthen those areas. And then, at least, I think the next logical step is to still use those, but to use them for the performance boost. And obviously, you know, if you have debilitating wrist pain, like if my wrists were really bad, I would just use them. I'm nothing, I got no holy rule against them right now, but if I can avoid them and still train hard, it makes training, it's like a mental challenge, knowing that I don't have that like backbone, but I know that like it's just giving me more confidence that like nothing is gonna hurt. It seems weird to say, but used to always being sore, and I'm still am, but like during the lift I'm used to like having like that soreness and kind of having to deal with it, but now it's just not happening. It's weird. It's just it's like I'm surprised when I like catch the power clean, like, oh, that was like pretty easy, and then I do the push press, so like, oh, that was pretty easy, pretty pain free. You know, there's like nothing that's like feeling weird with it. So I won't question it, and I'll just keep working. That's all I've ever done. That's all I will ever do. Just work and work and work. I really want to do more pause squats, but I gotta balance real ones with pause ones. Can't be doing these fake pause squats all the time. Plus, when I do them at the gym, they just look aesthetically cooler from the front. That's like the only thing here. It's like I think snatches and clean jerks look fine, but like I think my squats, I think squats aesthetically from the front look the best, because that's like at least even. I mean obviously for most people, but like for me, it's like it looks cool like how deep I can squat, because I don't really see myself squat from the front. I usually see this angle that you're getting, and obviously like I'm not like, well, I don't know if I'm hitting depth or I don't know if I'm going very deep, but it's like a different level of depth when you're looking at the front. And I look and like, it is kind of absurd. That's where I see it. I'm like, yeah, that's why I struggle at powers, because like I have really good hip mobility to just go all the way down and all the way back up and not have any restrictions. We'll do one more tactical reset, at least for squats. So we're going to do some pause clean pulls after. But yeah, I'm happy with how the weights are moving. A little bit of quad issue where I try to work through. And with these kind of like off squat days where I'm not doing volume, I really need to be cautious and careful, and not just go heavy because, oh, you know, they've been feeling good and whatever, but like try to know that I'm going to be doing volume tomorrow, and that's going to be more important than just trying to do a heavier single. But last week in a session I did 170, I believe. I forget. I wrote 190 on my paper, but I don't know if I'm going that heavy today. We'll have to see, but we'll just keep working up. It's just singles though, and then volume in the pulls. And that's kind of how I'm alternating it. If I do volume in the squat, I just don't do pulls, and then squat singles, and then pull volume. So I don't do pulls every day. I not deadlift every day. Lord knows I don't need to do pulls every day. If I did that every day, all my lifts would die except deadlifts. They would blow up. Ugh. And the cue I think about when I'm squatting down is just bounce off your calves, which I realize that not everyone can think about. Just bounce off my baby cow calves. You know, maybe that's cheating. Not everyone has the giant pillowcases I have for calves. Can't believe I'm a cheater like that. First I'm taking caffeine, and now I'm bouncing it off these bad boys. But thankfully it's been one of my natural gifts. I've done a lot of stretching and stuff in high school. Once I discovered yoga, and it was just, I enjoyed stretching. It was always fun to do, especially my hamstrings, trying to get those and be able to do like split squats, you know, all the way down. I haven't trained them in a while, but I used to be able to in high school. I probably physically have too much muscle mass to do it without a ton of work, but there's not a ton of benefit for the amount of work that it would take. But yeah, thankfully I got addicted to stretching in some sense, and I think that probably helped. That, and you know, just having good genetics, I think, is probably helpful as well. And perhaps the good genetics is that I like stretching, or I'm, you know, have some natural flexibility in my hips and hamstrings and stuff, and that made me enjoy those stretches more. All right, enough yapping. Not bad. We're gonna go to 160 with the idea of going to 190 after. This might be the last set I do though. Quad tendon's a little bit achy. It's not getting worse, but if it feels like it did with the 190 double, then we'll just stop. I'm not winning any prizes today. 190 would be nice to do though. We'll do 190. That one felt like it moved well. 190 might not move well, but by golly gee willikers, we're going to do it. RP, golly gee willikers. RP Andy Griffith Show. I mean, there is a chance it doesn't feel good and I just give up on it, but I usually kind of grind through it. Hopefully it moves well. It'd be nice if like 190 became kind of just regular now. So all the strength numbers just keep going up, which is really nice. My body weight was, what, 236 today? So I'm bulking again, but just normal fluctuations. All right. I did it for 2 on Saturday. Surely I could do it for 1, just without all the equipment. It was slow, but I never claimed to be fast. So we'll do a tactical reset and then I'll set up for pulls. But I'm happy with how that moved, and it didn't irritate this too much. Slightly, but nowhere near to what it did on Saturday. So that part's positive as well. But we're gonna go ahead and get ready for pulls. We will hammer these out really quick. So double here at, I don't know, going all the way down to 70, but I'm just too lazy to do that. But we're gonna do 120, 150, 170. The working sets at 170 and 3 doubles at that weight. So we'll get up to that here in a sec. Easy peasy. Slowly work this squat rack back against the shelving. Tomorrow at school there's no kindergartens, so the middle part of my day will be pretty empty. So Thursday will be the first day with everyone. But there were, the classes that were there was all first and second, and then half of kindergarten. They were full classes, which is always better than partial. Oh, the double classes are going to be wild though at first. And this is like interesting too, is like, it feels like my conditioning is getting better too. Cause like I'm not breathing as heavy. I don't know, it's not quantifiable, but it's definitely like my perceived exertion is going down, which is also nice. So it means I can kind of keep up the pace of the sessions, but I'm sure I'll get winded after the pulls, but I usually do them really fast anyway. Easy peasy. I think instead of doing 3 sets of 2, I'm going to do 2 sets of 3, so I can do them just a little bit faster. I might do that for the snatch pulls as well. I've made the mistake in the past of like, well, instead of 4 sets of 2, I'll do 2 sets of 4, because I can, but the speed obviously goes down the longer the set is. But a 3x2 or a 2x3, it's not really that different. Alright, so we'll just do the two triples. But at the rate the squats are going, I'll be doing no equipment 200 kilo squats. I definitely could have done it today. I would have taken music and stuff, but I had a little bit more for sure. I don't know what the most I've done without equipment on is before. One more. I want to get back to being able to do cleans with that. Based on the speed of the pull, I should be able to, right? It'll probably take me getting my front squat back to probably 180 plus at a minimum, but we're definitely on the right track, that's for sure. I don't know. But we got one more set, and then we vibed it. There you go. Whew. So that's gonna be it for this one, and I'm already not as winded from those as before. So if you made it to this point of the video, I appreciate it, and yeah, that's gonna be it. Peace.